World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Several people were critically injured, including a child, after a commercial plane crashed at the Toronto Pearson Airport in Canada. The airport said Delta Airlines Flight 4819, which arrived from Minneapolis, Minnesota in the United States, was carrying 80 people, including 4 crew members, when it crash-landed and ended up with its roof on the tarmac. All of the passengers were accounted for, according to local emergency services, with 15 transported to nearby hospitals. Orange Air Ambulance said patients with critical injuries include a child which was transported to Toronto's Sick Kids Hospital, a man in his 60s and a woman in her 40s, which were both taken to other hospitals in the city. According to BBC News, Toronto Pearson Airport had been experiencing heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures over the past few days. 2 storms has covered Ontario with up to 19 inches of snow. United States President Donald Trump has fired hundreds of Federal Aviation Administration or FAA employees barely 3 weeks after a mid-air collision between an American Airlines and a Black Hawk helicopter near the Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in late January, killing all passengers. In a statement, Professional Aviation Safety Specialist Union President David Spero said probationary workers were notified of their firing via email. According to AP, workers affected include personnel handling the FAA radar, landing and navigational aid maintenance, and an air traffic controller. President Trump had already fired all the members of the Aviation Security Advisory Committee days after the collision. The committee is tasked with examining safety issues at airlines and airports. The mid-air collision is still under investigation. And news from the Philippines Foreign Service Post, the Philippine Embassy in Egypt, led by Ambassador Ezedin Tago, participated in the 20th International Culture Day at the British University in Egypt, Al-Sharq City. The yearly event showcases traditional dances, food, and music to celebrate diversity of the different countries, some of which are represented by their respective embassies based in Cairo, Egypt. The event's opening program was preceded by a parade of flags of the participating embassies, which includes the Philippines, Azerbaijan, Chad, China, Congo, Egypt, Iraq, Japan, Libya, Malaysia, Nigeria, Palestine, Saudi Arabia, South Sudan, Sudan, Sweden, Syria, Tanzania, the United Kingdom, and Yemen. Mr. Saad Ibrahim Mohammed Al-Kasabi, a Filipino-Egyptian student at the British University, represented the Philippines by carrying the Philippine flag along the short parade route to the stage. Volunteer students also coordinated with the embassy to set up a booth showcasing the Philippines. The embassy shared Filipino delicacies such as puto, cochinta, and turon, which were served and introduced to the students, school officials, and other guests visiting the booth. Tourism brochures and a map of Philippine textiles were also in display. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.